Well, howdy friends, Brian Flechsig of Mad River Outfitters and the Midwest Fly Fishing Schools, and I'm here today to talk about selecting the right fly line. You know, we've requested that you all send us questions or things that you'd like to see us film, and we've gotten a bunch of input. We really appreciate it, but a lot of folks have been asking about getting started in fly fishing, and we've also had a lot of questions about fly lines. So I wanted to just touch on this today. We'll be happy to do more. In fact, I'm going to get Pat Kelly to talk about some of his favorite fly lines. He's a fly line junkie and knows everything about every fly line out there. But I just wanted to get things started today and talk about some of the basics of fly lines. And yes, if you're a beginner or even intermediate for that matter, if I saw the magnitude of fly lines that we have on the wall here in the shop or on our website, yeah, I'd be confused too. So let's try to make a little sense of that. You can always shoot me questions. I'll be happy to answer, or anybody here in the shop can answer. Kind of all of us are really into fly lines because there's so many cool things out there these days. But if you're just getting started, for the most part, 95 to 98% of everything you ever do can and will be done with a weight-forward floating fly line. As simple as that. For getting started, get yourself a weight-forward floating fly line. And if you're on a budget and you're not looking to break the bank, there is no better than Scientific Angler's Air Cell. The Air Cell is a decent quality line. It comes in at $29.95 and it has a welded loop on the front. There's a lot of those lines that you might buy for around the same amount of money and they don't have that welded loop on the front. And for those of you that have studied with us before, you know that I recommend as a beginner that you loop your leaders on. Just makes it easier. As you get more advanced, we can talk about other options, and we will here, but look for a fly line that has that welded loop on the front. You don't have to learn a knot to attach your leader. Just makes things easier getting started. Now, if your budget, you can afford a little bit more, the one that we've kind of picked and I think is a great value, $49.95, you've got the Scientific Angler's Frequency. The Frequency fly lines, again, really good quality. They've got the welded loop on the front. And now you start getting into a little bit more variety. And basically, they offer the basic trout taper. The Scientific Angler's Frequency Trout is just a general weight-forward fly line, nothing fancy, nothing aggressive about the taper, just a good old weight-forward line. The Boost in the Frequency series, I believe, is a half line weight heavier. I think it's the old GPX taper, to be honest with you, for those that know Scientific Anglers. But the Boost would be a little bit better line, say if you're throwing smallmouth flies, maybe if you're throwing streamers, or you're going to do some bass bugging. We sell this in 5 weight up to 8 weight, so for your 6, 7, and 8s, the Frequency Boost is going to be the little bit better choice. They also do the Frequency in a sink tip. $49.95 gets you into a 10-foot sink tip, so you don't have to spend $100 if you want to add a sink tip to your arsenal. And then, of course, for saltwater anglers, they do $49.95 for the Frequency saltwater line. So you've got a couple of different choices. The Air Cell, $29.95. The Frequency, you've got some choices there. And then, of course, once you start getting up into your high-end, call it fly lines, you've got Rio, you've got Scientific Anglers. We carry Wolf here at the shop. We carry Airflow. Just a ton of different options. But in floating lines, you've got the Scientific Anglers Mastery MPX. A lot of people around here will tell you this is the best floating line ever created. In fact, that's what we're hearing throughout the industry. And then, of course, Rio has the Rio Gold. Been a fantastic seller for us for years. These lines tend to be a little bit heavier per the line weight, which is they're excellent for throwing on faster action modern day graphite fly rods. And then you just get into a variety of specialized fly lines. I mean, you've got the the trout and steelhead indicator line that's designed for throwing split shot and indicators. You've got a smallmouth bass line, one of our great sellers around here, of course. I could just go on and on and on about the specialty fly lines, pike, muskie. You got fly lines for Tuesday. You got fly lines for Wednesday. And of course, the Kelly Gallup streamer lines from Airflow. We sell a ton of these things specifically for throwing streamers. Of course, Kelly's the king of that, and he's created some of the best streamer lines on the market. So there's a specialty line for everything out there. And here's what I would recommend. If you're trying to get into this specialty game and you need a fly line for a specific purpose, say smallmouth, indicator fishing, or for throwing streamers, pick up the phone and call us. Call us here at the shop. Tell us what you're looking to do. We're all fly line junkies. We know these things inside and out, and we're going to make a recommendation that's not brand biased. We're going to tell you what we think the best line for the job is and for your budget. You can also, of course, find everything that we sell on our website. Should have a pretty good explanation. We even have images of the tapers and everything there on the web. And of course, we'll be happy to load these up on a reel for you at no extra charge, as always. So there you go. Let me know if you have any other questions. Like I said, we'll talk a little bit more and get into some specifics on some of these tapers, but there's kind of getting started in fly lines. Thanks for listening.